modeling perspective, typically we don't need a lot of data to create models. There is statistics, and that's the purpose of the statistic. So help me understand, why is the volume so important from a modeler's perspective? Because we don't need a lot of data to create models. So why do we have to spend all this effort on a huge volume of data?
To actually get the real insight, the volume is not important. But to define your problem set, you have to mine data to figure out what is the best data that you can get in terms of fidelity and data quality to actually help drive models that are really representative of what the business is trying to do.
What are the current needs of the big data analytics world? From analysts, from BI people, from vendors, what are the things that you look for when you're putting together a team of people, so to speak?
Yeah, there are at least two things that come to mind from my own experience, that is lacking in the ecosystem today, and we need to continue to work on it from an industry standpoint, to gain better footing in those areas. One is the technology itself, and the technology and the tooling around it, if you will, right?
Where do you see the bigger challenge? And I know you said there's a technology challenge and there's an analytics challenge. Where do you see the bigger challenge, and where do you see the gaps between the communication gaps between people? Where do you see there's a greater scope for improvement, or what are the different levels that you see that there's a scope for improvement?
Yeah, there are three areas that I would like to talk about. One was the technology challenge that I talked about briefly. I didn't even touch the modeling challenges around that. And then there is the skill challenge, if you will, around the data scientist community, and everybody uses different things. If you look at even the largest of largest companies, you will see data scientists using scripting, Perl, Python, their own Java stuff, or whatever else that they do with the Microsoft ecosystem. And then the other larger challenges,
that in terms of the talent requirement, how do you see, if you were to break down the percentage-wise, the technology requirement, the people with the BI requirement, the people with the analytical data scientist requirement? How do you break down? Where do you see the deficiencies, and where do you see the greatest scope of growth?
Yeah, I think we are okay with I would say the business insights in terms of reporting / dashboarding, and some of the high-level insights that you can drive using the existing enterprise technologies. Right? If you marry the technical folks along with the business functional folks, you can get to a fairly decent amount of business insight that can help you drive whatever your needs are. But when you get into understanding data, when you get into modeling data, when you get into the science of data, and when you get into algorithm development for modeling, that is one ecosystem that is not vibrant today in terms of its volume. There are a lot of good people in the ecosystem, but they are few and far apart, to a point where recruiting that ecosystem has become very challenging.